It made me cry.
This one's wife. The harsh glare of scrutiny. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I regularly explain to you the concept of collateral consequences within the area of narcissism. This is applicable to lesser and mid-range narcissists who, like any narcissist, operate in the moment, but do so exclusively. Those narcissists will bring up the past to control the now. They will fake about the future to control the now. The calibration of their narcissism is designed to focus on now. Getting control now, and now, and now. Nullifying potential threats to control now, and now, and now. Drawing fuel in this instance, in this instant, in this instant. Gathering the character trait, residual benefits, now. In a way, the narcissist drives as if they're looking at the front of their bonnet, or hood for our transatlantic cousins, rather than looking at the road ahead. This means that they can navigate the road, of course, but there's a chance they might crash into something because they don't apprehend a hazard that's further down the road. Indeed, that is rather an apt analogy for the law of collateral consequences that applies to lesser and mid-range narcissists. The narcissism is fantastic at getting what is required in the moment, but often creates a further problem, which of course, when the narcissist gets to that further problem, the narcissism will then deal with it. But this leads to haphazard lives, broken relationships, in and out of relationships, haphazard employment. And of course, this is just as applicable to the behaviours of this one's wife, as I've demonstrated to you on many occasions. And a further collateral consequence is the harsh glare of scrutiny that she has become subjected to. This one's wife has craved the spotlight like any narcissist. Her narcissism, like it does with many narcissists, took her in the direction of a career in entertainment and acting. That is an oasis for our kind, because it allows the opportunity, by appearing on platforms such as the stage, on television, at cinemas, at concerts, in records, in streaming, to be able to showcase your apparent talents, or lack of, in some instances, to the world at large, thus controlling millions upon millions of people. Coming with that is massive amounts of fuel, character traits, and of course delicious residual benefits. And therefore the entertainment industry attracts many of our kind, this one's wife included. She wanted the spotlight, but she only wanted a spotlight on her terms, which of course, when you make yourself public property by living your life in the public eye, you don't get. You're subjected to what the media thinks of you. You play the media game, you may well get your arse bitten, as she has found out on repeated occasions. You court the public, you may get their adoration and admiration, but you can also be despised, oversaturated. Some of your less pleasant behaviours become exposed, resulting in public condemnation. This one's wife and Harry have courted the spotlight. He has been somewhat used to it, although he claims it's traumatised him. But then, hypocrite that he can be, he has continued to want to have that spotlight. Of course, much of that is as a consequence of the influence of his wife. Whilst Harry may well like the spotlight and has grown up and always been aware of it and used to it, this one's wife craves it. She needs it. The spotlight is an opportunity, as I've explained on numerous occasions, to enable her to get to the prime aims. She chases the spotlight. If it's pointing elsewhere, she must do something, a parking lot pap walk, to bring the attention back onto her. If it's pointing on Charles, she needs to drive around with a rictus grin plastered across her stupid face whilst holding a ceramic mug. She needs to announce some latest nonsense in order to cause other people's activities to be upstaged so that the spotlight swings back onto her. For many people, being in the spotlight enables them to highlight their talent. It shows off their sporting prowess, their brilliant acting, their capacity for delivering stirring speeches. It shows their talent in full effect, whether it's singing or dancing or acting. It might also provide a platform for doing good by bringing to the world's attention certain problems and needs which you highlight, and thus people react to it. You can also, by getting the spotlight, enable you to just bask in the adoration and admiration of many, many people indeed. That's the spotlight that she craves, one that she believes showcases her talents, deluded as she is, a spotlight that provides her with a platform for doing good, and a platform which enables her to bask in the admiration of the world. But because of her behaviours, like much as what she does, she fucked up. Rather than be subjected to this benign spotlight, she's found herself in the harsh spotlight of scrutiny instead. This spotlight doesn't highlight her talent, instead it highlights the absence of it. It emphasises her failings. It draws attention to the cock-ups and the faux pas that she engages in. This spotlight throws into sharp relief the hypocrisy that she regularly demonstrates. This spotlight provides an opportunity for ridicule to be shone upon her, as we've seen with South Park, Family Guy, Kevin Hart, and numerous other comedians. This is a spotlight of scrutiny, that each time she puts herself forward, once again chasing the prime aims through public appearance and PR puff pieces, as she fights to have that spotlight swung onto her, as it turns towards her, it moves from being a benign spotlight, but becomes one in which she's caught in the harsh glare of scrutiny. That each thing that she does, that everything that she says is subjected to accountability, to culpability, to scrutiny, which a narcissist hates. And invariably the outcome is not a favourable one for her, for once again she is criticised, that her hypocrisies are demonstrated, that she is ridiculed, and her repeated failings and desperation are writ large for the world to see. This is what happens with a narcissist of the calibre of this one's wife, that the spotlight that she seeks out, in effect, works against her, because it's a collateral consequence of the behaviour of her narcissism. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.